even imagine. It's just so much going on in the world. But you know what? I'm so glad that you tuned in us today. It may be morning, it may be evening, whatever time it is. I just want to let you know that we love you, love you. You know, in the interest of being author month, we are interviewing authors really two a day. We could do three a day, but you know, it's oh God, God, you know, when he say he gonna do something, he gonna show do it. Okay. So I think we actually gonna end up stemming over to April. Because the thing about it is everybody has a story. Everybody has something that they need to share to the world that we can go beyond where we are. You know, it used to be that saying, I guess they still say it, whatever happened in Las Vegas, stay there. But whatever happened in your life, whatever experience and things that you have learned, please share that. And then, of course, you know, you got to get a package together, okay? Because we're not doing nothing free around here, okay? Because you need to be able to feed your family, right? And then you want the person that you actually give wisdom and knowledge to do the same. I want to put an amen right there. But we have an amazing, one of my mentors. I mean, she keeps me straight. She tried to, Lord. I know she knows it's hard, but but one of the ladies that I looked up to, so I never I think I've never said that to her, and I wish I should, because you're supposed to give your flowers while people they flowers while they live, you know, while they can hear it, they can smell it. I look up to her because and this is a good thing. She is no nonsense when it comes to nonprofit. Y'all got that? No nonsense. Because the thing about it, we're here to help other people, and we're here to really change people's lives. We need to make sure we do it in the spirit of excellence. So I do admire her. I do value her opinion. I really do. I've taken a workshop with her. Ooh, she give you what you need. You just got to make sure you implement it and you do what you're supposed to do. Okay. So please come on in and like and share. And we got the lady that I'm talking about is Ty Boone. She is so amazing. She's from my hometown. Whoop, whoop. Okay. So you know how we do it in Alabama. You know how we do it. Okay. You know how we do it. But we want to welcome Ty Boone. Come, you know how we do it in Alabama. Come on, girl. And Birmingham is
just laughing at you.
this is a side of me that she really hasn't seen with me cutting up. But welcome, Ty Boone. Please. Woo, just tell us a little bit more about yourself, and ladies and gentlemen, how she really is changing. I mean, seriously, changing the world one person at a time. Or we can say one nonprofit at a time. But really, the people. She loved the people, and so tell us a little bit more about yourself, my love.
Well, y'all, my name is Ty Boone. I got an echo right here. Do you hear my echo? Are we good? We're good.
We good.
So I'm Ty Boone, y'all. And that's who I am. Just like Dr. Sanders said, I'm just kind of no nonsense Ty Boone. I started working in nonprofits 20 something years ago. You know, working in the universities doing research and development type grants, Dr. Sunday, and winning these big old grants and working on these big old grants for folk. And then we had a lot of community-based grassroots organizations who wanted money. Y'all know how the little organizations like, Ty, I need some money. I won't pay my salary. I need to do this and that and whatever. So one of my jobs was to just get in there with these small nonprofits to see what they had going on. And for the best use of words, they were raggedy. they were raggedy. So my job was to get in there to fix them so that they wouldn't be raggedy and they could compete on the same level of funding that these larger nonprofits could. You know, my background is in public health and health behavior, but I have a lot of research experience. So coming from the university, most of if you Google me, you'll see publications in chronic pain and things like that. You probably didn't know that, Dr. Sunday, but I did a lot of research in that space. I've taught at one point in my life. I was teaching at 13 colleges and universities at the same time in health sciences type of stuff, nonprofit stuff, program planning, organizational development, that kind of stuff. And it kind of brought me here after my second baby, I think. I was like, you know what? I want to kind of give back to some of those nonprofits that I used to work with, get them unraggedy. Unraggedy wasn't even my platform at that time, but I was like, girl, these folks so raggedy out here. They need some help. And I would watch stuff on social media and people just be wild and just saying and doing all kind of stuff in the name of nonprofits. And I said, you know what, Lord? I think you brought me to this space to help people become not raggedy. I really came to that epiphany, Dr. Sunday. I was like, you got folk, and not saying that, people know I'm not the only nonprofit consultant out here, right? That's my dog. I'm not the only nonprofit consultant out here. I'm not, I don't tell people that I'm the only one who knows anything, but there are folk out here who will mislead you because you want to get money. And folk are telling you to start nonprofits so you can get money. And then when you get the nonprofit, you just don't know what to do. Like, how do I fund this thing? How do I go forward? And then you start going forward in a manner that is not pleasing to the Lord. Because the Lord ain't with raggedy. He not with that. He ain't with that. He's not with the raggedy. And folks say, the Lord gave me this vision. The Lord gave me this thing. Yeah, but he not giving you a vision that you walk out raggedy, because that's a reflection on him. And he don't operate like that. So that's why I came into this space, Dr. Stunning. I'm like, you know what, Lord, it's me and you. We're going to help these nonprofits. They're not going to be raggedy. They're going to get the funding. They're going to do the work, because nonprofits work when nonprofits work. We're not sitting around here thinking that some funding fair is going to throw $1 million at us. We're going to get in order, and we're going to do this work. And we're going to get the money because we do the work. That's it. That's all I got about me. I got 3 kids and a husband, and here we go. And some dogs. They out there. Y'all might can hear them. I'm sorry.
You so funny. You so funny. And I like that. And that just came in my spirit by no nonsense. I don't think I've ever said that to you. But let me ask you this, because, and my family and friends say, I always think that people, I really believe most people in general, we have good inside.
Yeah.
With your platform, and I think you alluded to a couple of things. What do you think some of our main mistakes that we're doing? Like you're saying, people are telling us we can get this free money, but and then we listening to the wrong people. But what is some stuff that you think that we may not even realize we're doing wrong?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of times it starts with something as simple as your board. Especially if you're talking about a public charity, and there's different types of nonprofits. And in our community, we only hear about the public charity because we want a grant. We don't hear about the rest of it. We like, I want wherever I can get some money tied. So that's the first place we start wrong, because not even knowing why we want to do this. If we could decide, hey, this really should be a private foundation because I want to give back, and I don't really care if I get a grant or not. Maybe I can get some sponsorship, some donations, or whatever. I just want to give. That's a private foundation, right? But if you're over here saying I need grant money or whatever, most people will lean to the public charity to do that, but not even understanding what a public charity is and what it's going to take to get it functioning. Having your mom and them sitting up on your board, right? And nobody to hold you accountable, but you're coming out and you're wanting $1 million grant. I'm not gonna give you $1 million grant because there's nobody to hold you accountable. Most folks get that letter that says you're approved for 501c3. This is the biggest mistake. You get the letter that says you're approved for 501c3, and the first thing you do is say, I want a grant. You don't think about development. You don't have your programs in place. You don't know who you serve. You don't understand your mission, but you want a grant. And then you get discouraged. And that discouragement is so huge, especially in new nonprofits that don't really have the understanding or the education about nonprofits. They get discouraged. They're like, oh, I applied for 2 grants and I didn't get the grant. Grants are not guaranteed. And folk are thinking that it is. People are getting fooled with these folk on Facebook talking about, I'll write you a grant for $200,000 in money guaranteed, and then you give them your money, and now the Facebook page closed. They ain't got no website. You can't find them. You can't call them. They done took your money and they gone. Right? So thinking that something comes for nothing, that's a mistake, because you got to do the work. You got to have your organization in a certain position to get certain types of grants. Now, you've heard me in my webinars and things. So there's something out there for everybody, but you got to know what's for you and you got to know what's for them, right? So knowing what position you were in, that's another. We just don't know. We don't know. We okay. We got the nonprofit, and somebody told me I was going to get funded. I don't know that I can compete with Yale University. I just know I got a nonprofit organization. I didn't realize that I need to understand the valuation and budgeting and all this kind of stuff before I apply over there where they're applying to. And I gave somebody $6,000 to apply for it, and then they didn't get the grant, and now I ain't got no money. Where I should have went over here to something smaller, or I should have looked at some fundraising opportunities, or I should have done something else to diversify my funding efforts so that when I am ready to apply over here, I look good. Things like that. Nobody tells us those things. They just say get the letter, tell people you're a nonprofit, get a grant, start asking folk for money. Don't even know who to ask for money. Don't even know. All on the Facebook now. All on the Facebook, y'all. I'm sorry. We on Facebook. We might be on Facebook right now. All on the Facebook, asking folks for money, but and not getting anything. And then it looks bad because you're not giving, your board not giving, your fundraiser says $0. And people who don't know you are not going to support you if they don't see anybody else support you. Those things. Starting out, nonprofits, people come to me, Dr. Sunday, asking about salary. They could have just started the organization yesterday and been like, look, how do I pay myself? I'm like, go to work. How do you get paid at your job? Like, you go to work, then you get paid, right? Go to work. And it works just like that. Somebody somewhere said starting a nonprofit, get a check. Didn't tell you had to go to work in between. I see all of that. All that stuff right there is what we're doing incorrectly. I ain't gonna say wrong.
No, I like what you say. I like that incorrectly because I think some of us just don't know, and we listening to the people, here Jack Harry and all those kind of people, and we don't have the right or correct. I like the way you said motive of a thing, and so that's never gonna work anyway. But tell us, because when I'm trying to remember how I end up meeting you through. I know through the organization you partner with, Urban Awareness, and but I also I realized, I'm gonna be transparent, that I was raggedy, but it's a process of getting better. So when you went through your journey, this is very interesting, I think. And then you end up saying, God gave you that get people unregulated. What you did an amazing thing and became, ladies and gentlemen, she does webinars, she has whole packages, she has the one-on-one package, the group package, all the packages and the tours that you do. So what led you into actually putting some of this information in actually publication in your book? It's so pretty too.
So Be Worth Funding. Be Worth Funding. That's my book. Let me see. I got it over here. This is my book, Be Worth Funding, right? If
ladies and gentlemen, she'll be right back. I think the internet did something. She'll be right back. Hang in there. She'll be right back. I think her computer did something. It says devices not connected. So she's gonna come right back. The question that I was trying to allude to is when I met Boone. She was at this. She still is with this organization called Urban Awareness, and you guys check that out. But I realized that I had went to a lot of people, and they had given me the wrong information because I didn't know. So the thing about it, and everything you do, no matter what the business is, okay, she's coming back now, that you need to make sure you do your due diligence and work. Okay, there she go. She back. Boone back. I think she's just coming in. So yeah, so that's what we want to you to know. Okay, she's coming back. We'll give her a minute and she'll be on back. Okay. She has to unmute. Okay. Unmute yourself, baby. If you can hear me. Let me see. Maybe I have to unmute you.
I can hear you. Let me
Oh, there you go. There you go, Time.
my
You back.
camera acting up. Hold
Okay, she'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. But she gonna give you, first of all, I already had, I already got the book. Number two, I am well plugged in urban awareness. I mean, for years, I think I'm a lifetime member. Uh, because I've been, oh Lord, I've been to several people, and I was raggedy, as she say, and it's hurtful to hear that. But you know what? It'll make you motivated to actually get back and do what you need to do. So that time, boom, back. I'm being back.
I had to switch to my other camera because this camera was acting up. It just
Okay.
went out. But okay, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. Is this
No,
camera
you
okay?
good. No, no,
Okay.
you wonderful. You wonderful. You had
Oh,
started talking about your book.
yeah. I mean, it's been my book was on my heart for a long time, right? It actually started from me watching social media, watching Facebook, and seeing all this just misinformation. Just misguidance, just TikTok with the worst advice. I'm like, oh my God, folk are gonna go to jail if they keep on listening to this mess right here, right? And so I started using the hashtag be worth funding because
Mm.
folk were saying, okay, I want money, but I don't want to do any work. Or I want money and my board is raggedy. Or I want money and I don't have programs. Or I want money just because somebody said money is available. So I started using this hashtag. It had to be going on maybe 2 years. I was using the hashtag be worth funding, be worth funding. Shay Bonds, and I don't know if you know her or not, but she wrote a book called Grace Over Grind, right?
Mm.
Um, I read that book of hers in 2016. I bought her first book. And just a little bit before then, I started following her on social media. She had invited me to be on a podcast and all this stuff. Never met her, but she got in my inbox and she was like, I see you keep on saying be worth funding. When you gonna write the book? I was like, girl, I got time to write no book. Like ain't nobody write no book. I gotta be over here working with these nonprofits. And she kept coming up. When you gonna write the book? When you gonna write the book? Because you keep all this stuff you keep on saying on Facebook.
Mhm.
It needs to be in a book. So I sat myself down and I was like, okay, Lord, what you want me to do about that? He's okay, because these folk raggedy. I put you right here so you can help them to become unraggedy. Why don't you put it in a book? and that's what happened. And the book is what it is. The first part of the book is about different parts of your organization, so your leadership, your programs, sponsorship, and all that kind of stuff. My favorite chapters is the 20 truths, because that's when I get taboonish, right? Just kind of talking stuff to folk. Being really raw, straight up. Hey, you raggedy because this, right? Because some people just don't. My assistant told me to stop saying raggedy, but I actually ended up registering trademark for it. She's like, stop saying that because that's a negative word. Like, don't say it. I said, well, I'm gonna help them to get unraggedy then. So how about that? If I put an un in front of it, is it a little bit better? Because you have so many organizations that are well-meaning, that are really trying to do the work, but when you show up in front of funders, you don't look good enough to fund. And that's
Mhm.
that's that's heartbreaking for a lot of people, right? Because you have
Mhm.
in my book, I talk about being worthy versus being deserving, where
Mm.
you have the people that you serve. You have a food pantry. The people who come to this food pantry to get food, they deserve food. They deserve to eat. Nobody deserves to be hungry, so they deserve that. But is your organization worthy of the funds that you are seeking? If you're saying, hey, I need funds to take care of this food pantry, what do you look like on the inside? Do you have your accounting system in place? Do you even have a bank account in your organization's name? Are you not commingling funds? Are you keeping records and managing data? So for a lot of organizations, and the heart of the book is, for a lot of these organizations, it's your fault that your people are not getting what they deserve, because you're not showing up worthy enough to take care of it. So nobody's going to trust you with it. But it leaves the collateral damage is those people that you say you serve, because they need what you got regardless. They need it. If these folks hungry, we need to eat. I don't care if Dr. Sunday got her accounting system in place or not. I'm hungry. But for the funders, they're saying if I give Dr. Sunday $1 million, could she take care of it? So the book, is being worthy of what you're wanting, so that you can give these people who deserve the thing that you're trying to give them, the thing that you're trying to give.
Oh Lord, you didn't said I didn't about shouted 5 times. No, but you truthful and I'll be funny, like your sister said when you first started using. I said, "Oh man, I feel bad that you're regular." But you know what? Let's just be honest. A lot of times we need that kick in the behind. I'm gonna say it like that. I ain't gonna say the other word.
Don't say it.
I'm gonna lay down the cloth. But anyway, a lot of times we do have to get pushed off the cliff. That's what I'm trying to allude to, and you do it so gracefully because you're right. The people. That we want to help, we want to do it in the spirit of excellence. If you even, if you want to bring the Bible into it, which I bring quick, nowhere in there you saw the disciples lining people up to eat, and then nothing was in there saying that it was regular. Okay, the point that I'm saying is that it was not done in the spirit of excellence, because one thing, when you in need, you don't want to be put in a category. You don't want to be put down. You want people to do that in a respectful way. So we need to be able to start that from the top to the bottom, in a way. So I love every time she do a webinar, every time she do something, her and her colleagues or sister in the organization she's a part of, it's always done in the spirit of excellence to get us on the right path. Yes, there's a lot of money out there, but what are you going to do? And what came to my mind real quick was, you just ordered the book. Come on, Doc. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. But I'm excited when people do the right thing. Okay. Wait, let me highlight them. They don't have their name on here, but we glad. Yeah, whoever
that book. Get that book.
Because we want to. I really truly believe we want to help people, but we got to make sure we do it in the spirit of excellence. Especially if we said, anyway, you got, God, you saying this, but we got to make sure we do it in the spirit of excellence. A couple of the food pantries, because that's one of the things that's on our heart that we're doing is for seniors. Because what I went through with my mom and dad, you got to know what you're doing with caregiving. But the point I'm trying to get to is, I volunteered a couple of pantries here in Atlanta. You need to show that you really care, and what care goes with putting things in order as well. And so do us a favor, because I know we can talk all night, because I love you. You from Birmingham, we like the same thing. And I was like, what you doing with that chicken? She know I love chicken. But tell us a little bit. Well, of course, we're gonna put on in there. Let me ask you while you're doing it. I'll put the name of your book and the link in the chat. But tell us what we can do right now, because I know, as all of us know, when the pandemic came, gone, and whatever's going on now in the world or whatever, we need to be focused and finish things more than ever before. So just do us a little spiel on that, and then we need your book. We need to know about your tours, and then whatever else you're doing, just sign us on up, okay? I'm gonna spotlight you.
You already got all the urban awareness stuff. You would order me. You like, I don't know which one I'm a member in. I'm a member in all of them things.
I'm in everything, and I'm grateful that y'all keep up with me. I'm so glad y'all keep me in, because it's so funny. I think I've been part of urban awareness. Oh shoot, if they look back, I think it may be 10, because I remember when they changed the logo and stuff. So that's been.
Oh my goodness, you was there before me.
Okay, go with spotlight, baby.
You remember that? I remember you came to my my live workshop I had in Tinston in Birmingham. You came down.
That was 2019, I think.
2018.
18. Oh, that's even okay. You've been
riding for a minute, Dr. Sunday.
I love
things that I encourage organizations to do is first to take a step back. because sometimes we get so wrapped up in, well, let me do the work, let me do the work, let me do the work. We're doing the wrong work. And when we do the wrong work, we don't attract the kind of support that we need to attract because we're doing the wrong thing. So taking a step back first and getting into position, right? Stepping back, understanding what I need to do from the bottom up, starting with your, get the book because it kind of lays it out in order. But starting with your leadership, what does your leadership look like? If that's you, what do you look like? Should you be in this organization as the executive director, or should you just be the founder and moving on? Because sometimes just because you're the founder don't mean you should be over here running the thing. That may not be your thing to do. It may be your thing to start up and keep it moving. But what does your leadership look like? Is your leadership capable of growing your organization toward that vision that you have? Then understanding what your vision even is. What's your vision? What is your mission? Your mission. What are you doing right now? A lot of folk get confused on mission and vision, and we start talking to folk about our vision, and they don't know us. People who don't know you don't care nothing about your vision. Maybe your husband or your mom or somebody might care about it because they know you. But people who don't know you, they don't care about your vision. They want to know what you're doing today because you're going to get their money today. You're trying to spend their money now. So what are you doing now to make a difference in your community, and knowing how to communicate that? You have to get those things in order first. Understanding what your programs are. What are you going to be doing to solve a problem? Because programs solve problems. A lot of times we find ourselves in a lot of events. We're trying to do a lot of fundraisers and we don't raise any money. We're trying to do back to school rallies and we ain't getting no backpacks. And we wonder why people don't support us because what we're doing is not programmatic. Programmatic things solve problems. People give you money to solve problems. What problem do you solve? How do you even know it was a problem? Was it something that you made up and you just said it was a problem? Or did you really do some research and understand that this is a problem that society cares about solving? If society cares about the problem, you're going to find it easier to fund. Okay. Getting your financials in order, making sure that your budgets are tight, making sure that your financial, the way that you keep your books and things like that are in order, that you have an accounting system in place, being able to communicate your impact, knowing how you make a difference. If you don't, you're just gonna struggle, especially when you're talking about grant funding. Even when you're asking someone to sponsor you or you're asking different corporations to sponsor you, they want to know. They want to know what impact you make, how you making a difference. Even if you just got started, what do you plan to do? How do you propose to make a difference? What does that look like? What is your timeline for making a difference and learning how to measure those things? And I know it sounds like a whole bunch of stuff. You're like, Ty, how can I do all that? Right? Take a step back. Take a step back, look at your board. Is this who I'm supposed to have on my team? Do we have the same goals in mind? Do we have the same direction for this organization? If not, what are we going to do about that? Have I communicated the goals clearly of what I want to see happen in this organization? If I have, how does that affect our programs? Who do we have that's going to help us to go out here and do the work and make sure that we have our programs in place, making sure that we collect data regarding our program so that we can communicate that stuff to the funders so they can know how we're making a difference and we can show evidence that a difference is being made. A bunch of us are just doing work. We just do stuff, right? We're doing work. Nobody knows whether or not this work is benefiting any population that we're serving because we're not collecting data. So go back to your programs. If you're having a program or you had a workshop or whatever, did the workshop make a difference? Did you do a satisfaction survey? Did you do anything so that we can know whether or not this made a difference? And remembering that something like a workshop or a one-time thing is not a program, it's just an event. What do we do after that? What's next? How do we ensure that the people that we are serving is graduating from the things that we need? Sometimes, y'all, we do stuff and we get stuck on serving so much that we don't graduate folks to the next level. Sometimes we don't get funding because those people that we're serving still need our services 20 years from now. Now, you got some special populations that might still need what you have to offer, like the disabled population or the folks with disabilities or folks with, certain communities might still need your support. But the goal is to graduate them. When you graduate them, that means you're making a difference. If I got a food pantry and you're coming to get food from me every Tuesday, I should be giving you something that will graduate you to your next level. I should be telling you how to go find your own food. I should be putting some resource cards inside of your food bag. I should be putting something in there with showing you how to go to work or how to budget or couponing or something, so that next year, this time, you're not the same person who needs my food pantry. This is how I show the funders that, hey, what I'm doing is actually making a difference. I'm doing more than feeding people. They getting the food and they're going on. I don't see them anymore. I'm giving them some food. Plus, I'm giving them the tools that they need to go out and get their own food. So now when I ask you for funding, it makes sense. It makes sense. All right. That's all I got. I think that's enough to get you started. Just to kind of step back a little bit and see what it is you're doing and measure those things.
Ooh, look, I told y'all, since I had to, you know what? I have to sit here and listen, and then I had to go back and unpack her replays because every word she says is an action word. You hear that? I mean, it is because I'm glad you take time to help us though, because you can keep, when that was that before in the early 2000s, the move was to everybody make a change, but a change sounds good, but we got to step back, like you said, and get the awareness that I'm doing something wrong. Because I'll be transparent. I know this on the way, worldwide. I did not know until the 11th grade that I grew up in the hood. I know y'all say, okay, what's wrong with you? Until a guy from another school say, oh, you live in, and I'm like looking at him, and my mom had to sit me totally on down and have a conversation. And literally, that's when I realized, okay, here go, ouch, that is different levels of poverty. I did not know that because I was in the. So the point I'm trying to get at, what nonprofits, what we doing, and anything in life in our business, we got to step on back, like Boone said, and have that awareness that we're doing something that's not that. What your sister said, that regular, and you go
unraggedy. That's unraggedy. Don't be. It was raggedy. We transform into unraggedy, right? But you have to look back and you have to find where your raggedy at, right? And sometimes it's not hard, it's not easy to identify when you've been walking in it so long, right? You've been walking in it so long, and it seems to be okay. It's hard for you to identify and pinpoint I'm raggedy right there. Because it's a part of you. And you've grown up, and like you said, you didn't know you lived that you was in the hood till you came out to somebody brought it to your attention. Because I'm in it every day. I'm doing better than my neighbor, so I'm good.
You see what I'm saying?
I'm doing better than them. So I think I'm all right. But then you step back and you really take the time to say, you know what? Something ain't right about this, because you have to know what to measure it against. Because if you don't know what to measure it against, you're gonna think it's okay. And you see so much struggle, like we see so much struggle with small nonprofits. We think it's okay to struggle, and that's all we're accustomed to as a culture. We're accustomed to the struggle so much that we're okay with paying out of our pockets all year for 2 years and 5 years for the nonprofit or whatever. We're okay with that because I was born in the struggle. We're gonna struggle with this business, and one day a change is gonna come. And that's all, and that's what we operate in. Instead of saying, you know what, let me take a step back today, because I ain't trying to do that. One of my friends told me, Dr. Sunday, a long time ago. We got to have another talk, because I got to tell you about my whole life, but we ain't got the time. But I was having one of them times in my life, right? And I was talking to my friend, and she says, Ty, and I said, girl, the struggle is real. And she said, don't. She said, no, the struggle is optional. When she said that to me, I'm talking about it. It changed like immediately that year. Changed the way I looked at everything. She says, no. She said, don't say that. The struggle is optional. I'm like, really? Because some of this struggle you choose it. Some of it is not your reality. Some of that you're making your reality because you're choosing to do things the wrong way, or the incorrect way, the raggedy way. You're coming in, you're saying, hey, I ain't gonna, I got a personal bank account. I don't feel like going to get a nonprofit bank account. So I'm gonna run my stuff through there. You chose that raggedy. Because all you
Mm,
had to do was go over there and get a bank account, right?
mhm,
You don't have,
mhm,
insurance for your nonprofit. I just told you need insurance. So you choose not to go without it, then you get in trouble for not having it. You chose that raggedy. That wasn't real. That wasn't your reality. You made it your reality. When I told you that your mom and your cousin and your brother-in-law don't need to be on your board, and you say I'm gonna put them on my board anyway because they're my people and we cool. Then you start to apply for the Chick-fil-A grant, and they said you can't get this grant because you got all your relatives on the board. You chose that raggedy because I told you.
mm,
So it wasn't the struggle wasn't real. It was optional. The option you chose was the wrong way, even with the evidence in place that you shouldn't be doing it. If I tell you, hey, you got to diversify your funding efforts, don't depend completely on grants because grants are not guaranteed. And you spend all day and all night looking for grants and applying for grants, and you don't get one. And now you stressed out saying, I ain't got no money for my organization because I don't have no grants. You chose that
mm,
because you could have fundraised. You could have sold something. You could have got some more donors or whatever. You did that to yourself. But you want
mm,
the raggedy way because you're accustomed to choosing the raggedy.
God, if you don't, hallelujah. She ain't preached it here today. No, it's real. That made me think, and I know we down to the end. I did my last sermon last week was I said it was a self-reflection Sunday because we talk about the lady with the issue of blood, but what's your issue?
Mm-hmm.
We got every time we hear a sermon, I wish so and so was here, but we need to make sure we as an individual, we as a business nonprofit, girl, you said the struggle is option. I'm put that in my literature there. Ty, we want to thank you so much. Well, I want to thank you so much personally, and of course, we want to thank you for taking time. Just thank you for being in your purpose, number one, because we're gonna be unraggedy. Okay. And then we want to thank you because I think everything you have, I'm part of, and I'm grateful that you guys have, just allowed that space that everybody's at a different point in life. I'm gonna just say it that way. And
Mm-hmm.
then we want to thank you for the partnerships and everything that you have. And if you need us for anything, please don't hesitate to let us know. But we're gonna be worth funding. Okay. Anything else you want to say?
Be worth funding, y'all. That's it. Y'all be worth funding. I got a workbook too. If you go to my website at tyboone.com, you can find my Be Worth Funding workbook. It's not on Amazon, but you can buy it straight from my website. There's a digital version of it and a hard copy that you could buy for the workbook. Tour stops. I haven't gotten all the tour dates together yet, but it's gonna be some tour stops coming up for Be Worth Funding tour. I'll let you know, Dr. Sunday, so you can put it out there for folks. So I
Oh well,
got
yeah, especially if you come in Atlanta, because you got a lot of peeps in Atlanta now. Okay,
Mm-hmm. She says you can accept it. Yeah, you can accept it, not
look,
accept it. I'm reading this comment right here, right?
yeah,
It's
evangelist.
your vision or destiny, not it's like we get into everything starts with the vision, right? Because you're
Mhm,
especially starting these nonprofits and starting these ministries. It's like most people who come to me and start these things, they're like, God gave me this thing, right? If he gave it to you, he's gonna help you with it. But sometimes we're so hard headed that we take ourselves off the path that he intends for us to go on. It's like, okay, I
mhm,
want you to have this thing. This is in you. This is your purpose. You're supposed to fulfill this thing as a part of your purpose. And then we
mhm,
get into ourselves because he put people in place like me, like Dr. Sunday. He puts us in place to say, you know what, this is your vision. This is how you're gonna walk this out. But instead, you see something flashing over here on Facebook saying you can get $9 million today or whatever. You run over there when he intended for you to go right here, right? You run over there because it's flashing. You want it right now. You desperate. Desperation has a smell to it. Don't smell good, Dr. Sun. Desperation stinks. And folk who are out here who are preying on folks, they can smell it. They can smell it when you're looking for funding and you seem desperate and you at your last, your wits end. Those people who are looking for many good, they can smell that and they like, I got something for you.
mhm,
Because I smelled you coming a mile away. I can smell your desperation. I know you want to get a new roof for this church. So look, I smelled that. You wanted to
mhm,
that. So give me a couple dollars, and we're gonna give you $1 million so you can get. You already know it don't sound right.
Yeah, it don't even sound. Come
You
on now.
already know it don't make no sense. But because you're desperate, you're gonna choose to do something that's raggedy. Then you're gonna end up losing. Then you're gonna end up depressed, probably. And starting all over again, or even trying to decide whether or not what's this what I'm supposed to be doing. Is this the Lord really telling me to do this? Because it ain't seem to be working. It's working. You just going about the wrong way. You're not following the instructions.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You ever try to put something together? Like we get stuff for the kids. We try to put it together. I'm like, I don't want to follow the instructions. I'm just gonna put it together. Take me all 9 days. I still ain't got together yet because I don't want to follow instructions. Instructions right there. If I read the
Mm-hmm.
instructions put together, I could do that in 3 days.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And
But
that's why I love you. Got to have a mentor and a coach because going back to about the awareness, you may not see what you need to be working on. Because what's that old
mm-hmm,
saying? Mama used to say, "You can be so spiritual, and no earthly good." That
mm-hmm,
you way up here and you got to do 1+1 = 2. Okay, what evangelist also said, she said purpose is good, but I gotta put it some real faith into it to get it. Come on, girl, that's good. I like that.
mm-hmm.
Mm.
Faith and
But
work. Faith and work.
what they say, faith without works is dead. People think that
Dead.
means just laying on the couch. No, ma'am. You got to work. But Ty Boone,
Mhm.
oh God, I love you so. I will continue to support you, and you continue to work on me being unragged.
Begging no more in 2024.
and the world as well. But we love you and thank you so much. And we're gonna get you back again, my love.
Yes, ma'am. All right.
All right. Okay. All right. Take care, everybody. All
Bye,
right.
y'all.
Bye bye.